being able to do their jobs and communities accountable, to being able to follow the law, all the way accountability back into the family. So it's never, we're going to propose a lot of solutions tonight. It's never going to be that one doesn't solve everything, because no solution solves everything. It's not a silver bullet answer. But we have to look at every solution as contributing to help us get to a better place. That's what we're going to do in Cincinnati and do in Ohio. We'll come over here. Where do we have the next question? Right over here.
Hi, my name is Jill Amy, and I'm wondering if you or Sarah could elaborate on the TCAP reform program, where the courts and the services receive money when judges keep felony 4 and felony 5 offenses out of prison, and I read about it from you. So thank you so much. I was appalled to find out that we're making money by keeping felony offenders out of prison.
So Sarah, you're standing right next to Sarah. Why don't we give the mic to Sarah and let her be heard here on this?
There are probably a lot of judges in here that could actually speak to this better than I can, but I did do research and found out that Hamilton County gets $6 million every year to basically keep felons out of jail, based off of a risk assessment that they recently also switched to the felon being part of their own risk assessment and taking an assessment to figure out how they are graded. Hamilton County also has more money than any of the counties in Ohio given to this program. And so I am not an expert at that I'm not even an investigative journalist. This is just something that I've come across. And so yes, I do think it raises concern when there is money to be had by keeping criminals on the street.
And this is where we as leaders can make a difference. I mean, you want to get to the bottom of a problem, it doesn't hurt to start to follow the money. We talked earlier, you pay somebody more not to have a man in the house, well, you can create an incentive structure to see the fatherlessness rate go up. Same thing if you pay a county more money not to have a felon in prison, you're going to create an incentive structure that has fewer of those felons remaining in prison. So thank you, Sarah, for your work and leadership. Come back over here. Let's do it.
Thank you. My name is Felicia Zimmerman. I'm 49. I'm a lifelong resident of the city. I've had 2 teenage sons shot and killed in the city of Cincinnati. My son Bubba was killed in 2017. The detectives didn't pursue his killer, despite considerable evidence, including a confession by way of rap video. My son Christopher was shot in the thigh when he was 11 and survived. The police never caught who shot him then. Then in 2021, soon after turning 17, he was shot and robbed. There were 4 young men involved. The shooter was fresh out of juvenile jail for shooting and paralyzing someone. He received 18 to 23 years and will be out before he's my age. There were also 2 brothers involved. One was the spotter and one physically attacked my son. Both received less than 5 years. The driver wasn't even charged. I was able to look up the criminal history of 2 of the fathers of those men that killed my son Christopher, and their rap sheets were a mile long. A cycle of crimes committed with little to no consequences, and it's no wonder why the cycle continued through their children. For 4 years, my husband and I showed up to every hearing, regardless of its importance. We begged the prosecutor and the judge for stricter penalties, and our cries were ignored. The system is broken from the bottom to the top, and I'm here tonight in search of solutions so no one else has to get up here and say what I've just said.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's unconscionable. As a mother, I'm a father of 2 sons, and we're expecting a daughter early next year. And I have to tell you, as a parent, there's nothing that hurts my heart more than hearing you face that loss. Not once, but twice. I'm sorry. And I know you've heard that, and you don't need to hear it again. You need to see action. But what I will tell you is there's a million reasons why I could tell you why a governor can't be somebody, this is a state and local problem, enough. At the end of the day, you kick the ball, blame somebody else, you talk to the police, you blame the police blames the judge blames the backdrop of politics, and then the state government, you go to them, they blame the municipalities. Enough. I'll give you this word, all right? 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, I view you as holding me accountable. Ultimately, if it's in this state, if it's in a city of this state, ultimately I don't care. We can talk about how we can work with localities, what kind of pressure we're able to apply. There's things we can do. But starting in January of 2027, all I can tell you until then is we're sorry. And starting then, hold me accountable to make sure that we're actually finally ending this wave of violent crime so no other mother has to suffer what you have. And I want to thank you again for being here and sharing your story. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to thank you for having the courage to come forth with your